Hello, welcome to HIED 5361. Course title is Contemporary Issues in Higher Education. This is a brief introductory video, and I'll also talk a little bit about expectations. I'm Patrick Saxon. There's a picture of me dressed to impress. This is a fully online course. I recommend that you begin by reading the syllabus carefully. In that, you will get a sense of the workflow of the course. Basically, we operate on a weekly basis. I will get assignments and content posted over the weekends typically, and you will usually have a week to complete assignments, to do the readings, whatever is required before we move on to a new issue or set of content for the course. I would like for you to know that you can and should stay in touch with me throughout the semester. If you need to speak with me or comment or ask questions about any of the course content, you can do so via email, or we can schedule a synchronous meeting using Skype or GoToMeeting. Or if you so desire, we can set up a face-to-face meeting on the campus of Sam Houston State University. I'm in the Teacher Education Center, and I'd be happy to meet with you if you like. Just let me know and we can schedule that. We will be using a seminar format to address problems, challenges, and issues in modern higher education. And basically this means that as you get content and reading and assignments about a particular issue in higher education, you will work sometimes independently and sometimes in groups. You can always consult with me, come to me with questions and comments, and I'll be glad to help where I can. But basically you will be working to solve problems, to think about higher education issues, and basically to decide how you would respond if you were an administrator in higher education to the challenges and problems and issues that will be presented in the course material. You will need appropriate equipment and a consistent working functional internet connection in order to engage in this course. I would recommend that you regularly, daily, check your email. And I would also recommend that you get in the habit of checking the Blackboard course platform consistently and routinely for announcements and course content. Okay, since this is an online course, I would like you to think briefly for a moment about what this means to the social constructivist aspects of learning. And there's a model. I've given you a reference here if you would like to read more about this model, but basically it talks about the interaction of three components when you're engaging in online learning. And the fundamental premise of this is when you're learning online, everything is being filtered through technology. And basically, in order to establish some sort of social presence and to engage cognitively in the course content, you're having to interact through the filter of technology, and this generally takes a bit more work. We're not meeting face to face, so in order to engage socially and cognitively with our classmates and with the course content and with the instructor, we have to do this using technology, and this takes purposeful interaction. We have to engage in checking emails. We have to get on the course platform on a regular basis, and we have to stay in touch with one another using this filter of technology. So it's a bit more of a challenge, but it is expected in the course. Again, this is not an independent study. Primarily, this form of asynchronous access, meaning that we are not meeting face to face and we are not typically meeting at the same time online, it may lull us into thinking that we're out here working alone. But please do not feel this way. You will be given opportunities. It will be required in this course that you will need to interact and work on assignments with your classmates. Okay, a little bit about what I believe it means to be a graduate student. In my opinion, you should exhibit and be held to high standards, and that will reflect in the way that I work with you as an instructor in this course. We want you writing well in all of your communications, not just papers or assignments. We want you to always convey a sense of professionalism when you write emails to one another, or when you engage in discussion board writing. Please, at all times in this course, convey a sense of professionalism. If you think about it, especially in a scholarly field like higher education, you will be judged on the quality of your written communication. So let's try to get in a habit of communicating through our writing in a professional manner. So I'm going to hold you to high standards in this course, but the goal is not necessarily to critique or to criticize you. I want to get you systematically working in that fashion to where you're exhibiting professional standards with regard to your writing, your communication, to your participation, and your presence in the course. Okay, let me address writing for a few minutes. Before you turn in any written assignment, before you post a response or a question to the discussion forum on the e-course platform, the Blackboard platform, before you send or reply to an email, I would strongly encourage you to proofread, edit, and revise your written correspondence prior to submitting it. Again, we want to give the appearance of professionalism in all of our written correspondence and activities. I will hold you to the specifications of APA 6th edition on all of your written work and all of your reference citations. I'm not going to require you to purchase the APA 6th edition book, because there are a lot of resources online that can get you where you need to be with APA 6th edition. Now, if you feel it would be important to your learning to purchase that book, then I strongly encourage you to do so, and you might be able to find that book online somewhere. Matter of fact, I'm sure you can. But I will hold you to APA 6th edition format specifications for your written assignments. When it comes to my grading of your major written assignments, I will give you detailed feedback about not only the content that you have given me in your written assignment, but also the quality of your writing, meaning the grammar, the punctuation, the use of words and sentences, sentence structure, and also APA format. Now, my goal is not to necessarily criticize you. What I want to see is that you are learning from my feedback, so that somewhere along the way throughout this course, your standards for writing will increase. Okay, I'd like to address issues of plagiarism for a few minutes. It is unacceptable, remedied by typically a failing grade, and sometimes other remedies as imposed by the college. But basically, for this course, you need to know what plagiarism is and how it happens. It typically occurs when you're using other resources to help you write papers, and it typically occurs with the lack of properly citing those materials that you use. And you should ask yourself two questions, at least two questions, when you're working on a written assignment. Have you copied and pasted? Do you do this often? Or do you use quotes frequently? These are two of the most common areas in which I find students engage in plagiarism. Now, a lot of times I don't think students necessarily intend on cheating or plagiarizing someone's work, but nonetheless, no matter whether you intended to do so or not, it is unacceptable. What I want you to do when you're engaging in writing for this course is to focus on writing your original thoughts, and where necessary, where you deem appropriate, support that with the work of others, properly cited. Now, why did I feel the need to discuss this? I see this very often, and yes, even among the writing of graduate students. And nowadays it is very easy to catch. We have a tool called Turnitin, and all we have to do is have you submit your papers through the Blackboard course platform. Turnitin will automatically review your paper and check it against literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of scholarly sources, papers, academic articles, other student papers, writing assignments, so on and so forth, and it will look for actually look for and alert me to potential plagiarism in your paper. So this gets done automatically now, so I would be very careful if you are plagiarizing, if you are copying and pasting work into your assignment. It is typically caught through Turnitin. Okay, thank you for taking a few minutes to review this video. I do look forward to working with you in this course. Again, remember, you can contact me anytime about anything that you would like. Please let me know how I can assist you in your graduate college endeavors, and I welcome any suggestions that you have for improving my teaching. There is my email address, and also a picture of me on a nice sunny day in Central Park.